Hey everyone, how are you doing? It's AJ here. So today we're going to be discussing games that are coming out that I'm pretty hyped for. These can be games that are fully announced or have basically no information about them. But I do want them to at least exist, so I won't be discussing stuff that's like completely unconfirmed, you know what I mean? I at least need a little information for it to go into this little ranking, okay? So let's just hop into it, no point wasting much time. So my first game that I'm super hyped for is the new Saints Row. We all saw that coming, so we'll get it out of the way first. It's been a while since I've played a game that I love and had like a new release in it, you know. Not many franchises are releasing games I love at the moment, and I think this Saints Row will do it actually. I'm really excited for it, and I know people are kind of going to be annoyed at that because it's the new Saints Row, and everyone who's like annoyed at the game is going to be annoyed at me for trying to enjoy it. But regardless of that, I'm still excited for it, so yeah, I'm going to try and not let it kill my hype, and I'm looking forward to it coming out. Next up, though, we have the new Fable. Now, hear me out, okay? This new Fable, I think, is going to be Game of the Year, whatever year it drops, okay? Fable 2 was one of the best games I've ever played in my life. And with this new Fable coming out, being made by Lionhead Studios, who turned Forza Motorsport into Forza Horizon, it's going to be insane. I mean, like, they made such a beautiful map in every Horizon game, so I think they can do it with Fable. And maybe even do it better than Lionhead Studios, who are the old people who made it. So, you know, it's going to be pretty hard though, but I do think they can do it, and I think this new Fable could be absolutely amazing. Next up, we have Far Cry 6. Now, Far Cry 6 looks unbelievably interesting as a Far Cry game. It's got the villain from Breaking Bad, which is an amazing Netflix show if you haven't watched it. I think it's on other like streaming platforms too, but I watch it on Netflix. It's amazing. But it has the bad guy from him called Gus, and he's an amazing like antagonist. So I think the villain's going to be really cool in that game. And also, Far Cry has always just been a really good series in my opinion. I feel like none of the games are ever awful. Like, Primal is one of the most fun games you can play. 4 is amazing, 3 is amazing, 2 is amazing. I remember playing 1 on my Xbox, like, 360 or PS3 or whatever it was. That was fun. I've played 5 and completed 5 multiple times. Another good game. So, I think this new Far Cry could be pretty good, and I'm quite excited for it. So, yeah, Far Cry 6 is definitely one of those games that's pretty hyped for me. It's coming out soon, so maybe I'll make a video on it when it's out, give my actual thoughts. But, yeah, look out for Far Cry 6, I recommend it. Just a little while ago, we discussed that Fable is going to be made by Playground Games, people who make my favourite racing games. There's a new one coming out too, Forza Horizon 5. I'm hyped for it. I've never really been into racing games, I'm going to be honest, okay? I do most of my racing in any sort of games just driving around in normal open world games like Saints Row or GTA. I don't play games just for racing because I feel like they're just not worth it. Forza Horizon did change that. It's incredible. I played 4 and 3 so much that like I had some of the best cars and everything in the game. It was like insane how much I played a racing game, especially since of how much I'm like against them, because I feel like they're very one-time things, you know what I mean? You play a racing game, you race around for a bit, and then it's just kind of that for the rest of the game, but not with Forza. It's very different, and Forza Horizon 5 is coming out, and I 100% recommend it even if you're not into racing games. Just look at it, take a look at some gameplay, and yeah, I think you'll actually quite like it. It's really weird, because Forza Horizon is like so different to every other racing game, that I think it's definitely worth a look even if you're not into racing games, because it's very good. Here we are, spot number 1. What is AJ's favourite game? The game he's looking forward to more than anything. The number 1 game he's excited for. It's Elder Scrolls 6, surprise to nobody. Elder Scrolls 5 is my favourite game of all time. I play Skyrim today, in like 2021, and still find new things to do. It never gets old, it never gets boring, even without mods. I have such a good like time playing the Elder Scrolls 5 that I'm so hyped for this new game, and I really hope it's good because of how long they're taking with it. But it's that good of a game, like Skyrim's that good of a game that I don't mind the wait, because it's insane. I'm actually going to do a full-length video on why I think Skyrim's one of the best games ever made, so I'm going to not discuss too much here and wait for that. But Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be insane. There's a little announcement a while back, so hopefully we should be getting some more news soon. I don't know when we're going to get a release date, but it'll still probably come out before GTA, so that's always good. But yeah, I'm super hyped, honestly. Like, Elder Scrolls has been my favourite franchise forever. I mean, while I didn't really connect with Morrowind and Oblivion the same way I did with Skyrim, it doesn't matter to me. I played Oblivion, I was like, wow, you can just see how it like made the structure of what Skyrim was. And I know some people prefer the older games than the new one, but I started late, you know, I'm quite young really, So a lot of the time I start later into franchises. And yes, Skyrim was my first game, and it was incredible. And I always go back and play the older games whenever I like a game out of a franchise. Like if I've played Far Cry 4, I would go back and play the other ones if it was my first game. So I did that with every franchise, and going back and I played it, I could just see how it built the structure to make Skyrim as good as it is. And I can't wait for the Elder Scrolls 6. But yeah, that's my list. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to try and record a ton of videos because I got some spare time. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.